In this video, we're going to learn how to use an if statement in our n8n workflows. If statements are really valuable for controlling the flow of information and limiting what data gets processed and what doesn't. It's one of the most basic building blocks of writing code. Here you can see we have an existing workflow, and the right-hand side we have a code node. We're going to open that up and see that it's empty. And what we're going to do is put some basic code in there already. And what it's going to do, you don't have to worry about this step. It creates a new array. It iterates over the items that are passed in via JSON to this code node, and it returns certain elements that is added to that array. So now we're going to add our if statement. And what we do is we start with the word if, and then we put brackets. And inside our brackets is where we put our condition. And if the condition is met, then the next step will be executed. If the condition is not met, then it won't be executed. We're going to keep this simple. So we have an item in our loop, and that's the first one you can see up the top here. We're going to select item. And if we press the dot sign, we can see how we can access that item, either as a binary or JSON. We want to get the JSON data. So we want to have the access to the information. When we put a dot, it will give us access to the elements that's going to get passed in to this code node. And I know that description is one of the elements inside of that JSON for each of the elements. So we're now going to check if that is equal to something else, and that will help us execute the next step. The way we do an equals is we put a double equal sign. In JavaScript, if you put a single equal sign, like up the top row, it's assigning something. So I've created a new variable and assigned it an empty array. When you use double equals, what it says is this thing on the left-hand side equal to the thing on the right-hand side? And we're going to say in brackets the words second value. So we're going to check if the description matches second value as a text string. And if it does, we're going to add it to our new array, and that is what is going to get returned to the next step. So we're going to push that item into our new array, and whichever elements get passed in the array of values into this code node, only if they match second value as the description will they get passed. Everything else is going to be ignored. So we can execute this and see if this operates now, and we'll see on the right-hand side which elements get passed in that match that second value criteria. So here you can see what's passed in as input on the left-hand side is an array of objects, and those objects each have a description, and the description varies from element to element. And we can see that on the right-hand side, only the one with the description matching second value is the one that continues. So this is a really easy to do text-based comparison to see if something equals something else. We can change this now and try something different and go, let's check the value. So we can see in the elements on the left-hand side that they each have a value, and we're going to say if the value equals 109, only then will be added to our array. So only the last item in there will get passed on the right-hand side when we execute this code a second time. So we can see that third value was the value of 109 is the one that was selected. So this is a numeric comparison because it's a number we need to compare to the value in the JSON. We can tell because it's not in quotes, it's a number. So you can do different kinds of comparisons, and you have to make sure that the type matches. So if the value is a string or a piece of text, we must make sure it matches to text on the left and the right-hand side. If it's a number, likewise. So you've now created your first if statement. The other thing you can do is you can add a new operator into your if statement. Something like if you want to have two different criteria, then you can put an and. And the way we do an and is to put two ampersand, one after the other, and then we put the second criteria on the right-hand side. So we're going to say item.json.value equals third value. And so now what we're doing is, and that needs to be double equals, and that needs to be description. So now we're comparing two elements within each of the objects. We're comparing both the number and we're comparing the text string. So when we run this, we'll get the same result because it matches. It's the value is 109, the description is third value. You ready? But now if we change this to second value, nothing's going to get passed through because there are no elements in here that match both the number 109 as the value and the description is second value. So when I run this a third time, nothing's going to get passed through on the right-hand side. And that's how we expected it. So this is how you can construct if statements to be able to control your data in your workflows. If you found this useful, please like and subscribe.